A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3, Take 2, Dream Warriors Squared. That's what this is.
Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that.
Cobweb's over there munching on the ice cream. Deb's like, I want an ice cream.
I know, right? This is a good ice cream bar too. Some people
And
know
I'm over
about
here.
those.
I'm over here like, soundboard, please don't die on me, soundboard. Don't do it again.
I know.
Someone say ice cream?
I know. They're pretty tasty too. I'm not gonna front. There's a lot of calories though. I shouldn't have been eating that thing. You know, that's not good.
Calories can be your friend in
Not
cold
like that.
weather. In
Man, I'm really hyped up.
I just go jog afterwards.
oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling like Deb, like a cup of coffee right now, and I didn't even finish the whole bar. Whoa.
Oh, it's got caffeine in it.
No, it's just got chocolate and sugar. That's enough for me. I get amped when I have a lot of sugar. Oh,
What was that? What was? Oh my God! I know we're supposed to be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors, but what was that? Talladega Nights. What were they? No, they were a Mountain Dew, or was it Chocolate Crazy, or Mountain Dew Crazy? What was it?
I don't know. Talladega Nights. I can't
Those
remember.
two wild ass kids.
Mountain Dew.
No, you're thinking about grown-ups.
No, they were. They were all jizzed off that Mountain Dew.
Talladega Nights, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you were talking about grown-ups with the chocolate wasted.
No, man.
Chocolate Wasted. Okay, so I'm thinking about two different movies.
You got them all
two
mashed in
different
together.
movies. Yeah,
Oh, see, this is what I'm
And
talking
the
about.
little kids is like, I want to be chocolate wasted.
that's what I was thinking. After the traumatizing events of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Take 1. now my memory.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
You mean where everything started crashing, and then you and Cobweb are like, "That's okay, you can edit it," and I'm like, "Does it look like I edit shit anymore?"
Yeah, but it was still fun.
Yeah, but it had like 12 different edits. I mean, if it was something where we're just cutting a chunk out here, but it was like we were good for a minute, then y'all wanted me to cut out like 2 minutes here, and then go back in for another minute, and then cut out 5 minutes here, and then go back in for 30 seconds here, and cut out like 8 minutes there, and we've been talking all day long,
All day long?
all day,
Josh,
not instead of all night.
Josh,
Hey, what's up, bro?
do me a favor.
Oh, already?
Hit the intro.
Warning. This podcast is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence, and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
That's right. All the social media is at Cast Pod. Unless you want to reach out to us individually, you can hit up Cobweb at Cobweb411, Deb at Deb Mrs. OMG, or me at Old Married Gamer. But like I said, all of our other stuff is at Cast the Pod, including our Patreons. Shout out to the best people in the world, the Patreon Pod people.
Oh man, Club 3P.
And Brendan will be receiving his pumpkin spice muscle shirt soon. I got to come up because he wanted a blue muscle shirt as well. It's gonna be cold. He wants a muscle shirt.
Dude, man, if you seen this dude, he's ripped, dude. I don't think he can wear anything is not a muscle shirt. It's probably constraining.
But he said he wanted one that was blue. I got to figure out a design for a blue one. That pumpkin spice latte one was so easy to think because it's that season.
Well, then it's pumpkin spice latte, man. Come on.
Speaking of seasons, we are in Podtober. That's hashtag Podtober. If anybody wants to talk about us, we invented that here at Cast the Pod. I don't care if anybody else is using it. We thought of it. We were having a session on we got to come up with hashtags because Cobweb had that genius one last year, the Jamie Lee Curtis, Don't Hurt Us, Jamie Lee Curtis, or Jamie Lee Curtis, Don't Hurt Us last year.
That did
Right,
pretty
Deb?
good.
Yep.
And then, so yeah, we came up with Podtober. We have horror icons. All this month, we're going to be talking about the icons of horror.
Yeah.
And on the Patreons, each one of us are going to have our own Mount Rushmore of horror videos posted up.
Oh my
Where we're going
goodness.
to talk about what we think our top 4 are.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm getting started on mine tomorrow morning. There's so much time.
Nice. What, Deb?
I was gonna say this month is so exciting. There's so much to do.
It is a lot to do. It is a lot to do.
That's why I didn't want to do a shit ton of editing, because we got other stuff to do.
I know, right? But you know what? This is like a really good time of the year, you know? Because you know what? Because you know what comes right after that time? We start lining up those special guests. This people start showing up. You never know, you know. But neither here nor there. This is Parktober. This is a great time for Cast of the Pod. I'm so excited.
After October is Thanksgiving and then Christmas.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of turkey and tamales. That's
Oh.
all I think about.
I'm thinking about the WWE in Peoria. Woo! We got
Well, we got SmackDown, what, October 28th, Deborah?
October 20th.
yeah.
October 20th?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got I think the holiday tour.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be a good time. I'm excited. Pretty good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you'll see.
The best
We'll be around there, around
time
the
of
ninth row or
the
somewhere.
year.
Right around ringside. Good enough to throw a good chair.
You don't want to do that.
No, I don't. I really don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to get hurt. I'm not the type of person to get hurt. I'm very old.
Jed's over here.
I mean,
Jed's over here singing Christmas songs. Cobweb's talking about throwing wrestling chairs. I'm trying to talk about Freddy Krueger and Podtober here at Cast of the Pod. Hashtag Cast of the Pod NRG. Somebody asked me the other day, what is that NRG? I was like, energy?
right?
Cast of the Pod energy? They're like, oh.
Are you serious? Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm not even trying to be funny or anything like that.
It's okay.
I'm like, say it out loud. They're like, oh.
That's what they get, man. But I'm really excited too. I mean, you know, that's one thing about this movie. This movie stuck to me really hard. It really got to me. I could relate to this movie big time.
Oh, I thought you said this movie sucked for you.
No,
I was like,
no.
what?
I know, that's what I
Oh,
heard.
really? Oh no, it stuck with me.
Yeah.
It stuck with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was the one that I was like, shit. This shit is fucking real, you know. And that's when I realized that Freddy was something different. He was a different type of animal when they gave him that third one, you know.
Well, you know, and I didn't know this until today that I was reading the IMDb stuff on it, that part 3 was originally supposed to be about Freddy Krueger possessing and haunting the actors that played everybody in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Like how they did the other movie, what was it? Nightmare on Elm Street. What's that one called?
Oh,
When they-
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
When Heather's there and she's playing Heather, and then all the
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think that was.
they didn't do it.
They didn't do it too good.
Well, they didn't do it back then because they didn't have the budget for it. I liked it. I like that one when they show that Freddy's actually a demon.
Well, that's the whole thing. They wanted to try to get away from like that possession thing because that kind of like flopped, like kind of bad in two. You know,
New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare. Yeah, it flopped. You know, that it was kind of lame with him doing the possession thing. So they said, nah, let's just not do that. Let's get away from that. You know, because that was the one thing about 2 that kind of sucked off. You know, but 3 just took it to a whole nother level. Yeah.
Right.
You know, when that Joker started
That was
selling,
what
he's selling the
New
souls.
Nightmare was for part 6.
Ooh. Ooh. Man, that was cold-blooded, man.
So on this one, we were talking. Did we talk about it earlier, or was that in the first pod?
Which part?
What?
First attempt.
No, we didn't do
When
the
this was the one
IMDb.
where they-
Do the IMDb. We haven't done it yet.
Yes.
What is
there
that? Hit that off, man. Hit that off.
A psychiatrist familiar with knife-wielding dream demon Freddy Krueger helps teens at a mental hospital battle the killer who is invading their dreams. Director Chuck Russell, writers Wes Craven, Bruce Wagner, Frank Darabont, stars Heather Langenkamp. I've never been able to say her name right. Robert Englund and Craig Wesson. Also one of the Arquettes.
Patricia.
Patricia Arquette, yeah.
Who's?
And did you say this was her first role?
Her first movie, yeah.
Oh wow.
She did really
Who
good.
is she?
The main one. The one that could bring people into the dreams.
Christian.
Oh, wow. Oh, she did do good.
Yep.
She had
yep.
a nice little
Not
ability
bad for
too.
a first
I
film.
liked her special ability. That gymnastic thing pretty helped her out pretty good. That's,
She had the little flippity doodads.
yeah, that was a good one. That was a pretty good dream thing. You know, I think some of the Dream Warriors. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. They were stupid. You know.
Oh, let's talk about the premise of the movie.
Okay, right
The premise of the movie is about a bunch of kids who have tried to unalive themselves one way or another, and they all end up in an institution, which you can't call it what you used to be able to call it because it offends people. In the movie, they call it a snake pit, which apparently I didn't learn until today was actually a term that they used for these types of institutions.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Called them snake pits. I didn't know that either. I never heard it either. But hey, what do you learn when you look stuff up?
Knowledge.
The knowledge is half the battle.
Yes.
G.I. Joe.
But that's neither here nor there.
It's one of those.
So in the middle of all these people, did they or did they not admit to each other that it was the same person hunting them down,
that's
or was it when?
They didn't do it until Nancy got there, right?
no. They
And then
all,
Nancy says-
they all had recollections of some of a Krueger, and they said that because one of the kids, the kid that he pointed that out to them in the study. That's why Krueger took him out. He pointed that out when they were having their group sessions, and he said that. He said we all had this recollection of the same type of person before we got here. So this is not that your theory that you are talking about that is manifested by us all getting together. He said it's not true.
That's right. He did say that, but it wasn't until Nancy came out and said he's got a dirty brown hat and claws on his right hand, and they were like, so did they never let these tips out to anybody else except themselves?
No,
They kept it in the
I
circle.
think they did, but nobody believed them.
yeah.
Everybody was just saying that was just their, well, like the other lady said that was just their guilt. So I don't think anybody believed them, but I think they talked amongst themselves without the doctors in the room.
I like when
So-
the doctor said, "Oh, it's just sexual frustration or something like that," and then Kincaid's like, "Oh, great, now my dick's trying to kill
Yeah,
me."
right. This is like one thing I need now, right?
Sexual repression, recession.
It's called being
It's
a
bad
teenager.
everywhere.
That's all it is. It's just called being a teenager. Their hormones are all screwed up.
And everybody in this movie was like 32-year-old teenagers.
Yeah, they were. That black dude seemed like, who was it? What was he? He had a good dream warrior. What was the black guy's name in this?
He was strong.
Kincaid.
Kincaid.
Oh, don't forget who else was in this movie. Our great Larry.
Lawrence
No, that was Larry
Fishburne.
Fishburne.
Larry.
That was Larry.
Larry.
That was Larry.
Yep.
It was Larry
That was
Fishburne.
Larry. He was
Yep.
still going by Larry.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne used to go by Larry before he was like, you know what, I'm going to use my real name.
Okay.
Speaking
I
of
did not
Kincaid,
know he was in this though.
So speaking of Kincaid, he was in a movie recently in 2023. It Wants Blood too. So he's still working.
Oh, okay.
That's
Good for
good.
him. Good for him. He had a good dream warrior strength. He had strength. You know, that was very impressive. You know, I thought
When he opened the wall.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My favorite scene is when he breaks that little hole into the wall so you can see his face. And she's like, Kincaid, I'm so happy I could kiss you. And then he Kool-Aid mans it. Oh yeah. Knocks open the whole thing. And she
It
gives
says,
him that friend zone kiss. And he's like,
Yeah, it's too much.
he's like, what's stopping you?
You know, he survived. We're just gonna say that. I was glad he had his strength.
but yeah, he's in part 4.
Yeah, he's in part 4. But you got to realize something with this thing. You know, I mean, when you're going up against Kruger, you have to be realistic about something. You know, I thought that the kid that had the dream power. He was the wizard.
The wizard guy.
That was the stupidest thing I could have ever seen him on. He was the weakest wizard of all. I mean, seriously, come on. You're a freaking wizard.
Why did he bring
Turn
up
Freddy to freaking stone or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Cast his ass into a freaking
burn
burning
him
pit
with
of hot
more
lava.
fire? More fire. Flamethrower hands, not green little magic. Speaking of green magic, you know what they had to do in this movie?
What?
The Freddy snake that tries to eat Kristen.
Oh, that was so intense, right?
You know why it was covered with green goo?
Why?
Because they couldn't show blood?
No. They could definitely show blood because it looked too phallic.
What?
I have a tattoo on my leg that's the beginning of the hobgoblin,
Okay.
and it starts up on my inner thigh and goes down my leg towards my knee, and it's just the outline because we haven't filled in the face of it, and that's the same problem that happened with Freddy Krueger, because when I wear shorts it looks like my schlump has a big face on it right here where it's by my knee,
Oh.
and that's what happened with Freddy.
It's,
He looked too much like he looked too much like a schlump,
I think.
so they had to cover him with green
I
goo.
think it looks fine.
And
to me.
they unintentionally made him look like a penis with a face on it.
Jeez.
So that's why they covered it with green goop, so it wouldn't be as phallic.
Yeah, but now it looks like a green goop. You know, somebody that had a rough night out in the projects. You know.
Wow.
Poor guy.
You know, $25 holler guy just sitting in the doctor's office getting a shot in your ass.
That is neither here nor there. Also, that's my new catchphrase. Neither here nor
Yeah,
there.
right. He's gonna keep it real, guys. Keep it real. No, because it's thoughts and views. That whole thing.
So, I mean, when I think of Nightmare on Elm Street, like I said, I don't know if this is in part 1, part 2 of our podcast tonight or not that I said this or not. This is my movie. This is the one that I linked to. This is the one as a kid. I remember saying that I saw this, and my teacher was like, "Oh, your parents let you watch stuff like that?"
Mm.
And I was like, "Yeah." And I lied, of course. When I told my teacher I seen it, I hadn't seen it yet. When it came out, though, we rented the VHS and saw
Oh
it.
wow, we saw it on cable.
Yeah.
We had a cable box. That was a hat cable box.
The
We
magic
had a
box.
magic box, which was very cool. So we plugged that bad baby in, and that's how I saw it, and it was pretty good. I'm not gonna front, And I actually watched it with my OG at the time, so she was just like, she never let us watch that type of stuff, coming up. We weren't into horror movies or anything else like that, and I was just starting to watch it now at that point in time. So that was like the first set of movies I started watching as a kid. And she would, want to watch with me, see what I'm watching and stuff like that. She got up, she got up and ran out. She got out. She's like, I can't watch no more. No more for me. That's it. I had to pull her back in the room. I was like, you ain't gonna leave me here by myself.
Talking about real life stories, Deborah has a story that she'll tell you later on about something that happened to her today.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Today.
Oh, Deb, you got me like,
I was so freaked out.
for real?
I was like, Josh.
Oh, see, this is
Yeah.
what I'm talking about today. We gonna be in this today, man. Podtober. Yeah.
I don't know how much of this movie we're going to talk. We've been getting a bunch of these movies where it's like you just got to watch the movie.
No, we can keep.
Just gotta
watch
we're
them.
still going.
We could talk. Okay. How about what was your favorite kill?
Taryn.
Taryn.
Oh yeah.
It's the Mohawk girl.
The Mohawk girl, that was your favorite one?
And he's like, "Don't you remember me?" And he picks up his fingers and it's all the
Oh
needles.
my goodness, that was so horrible.
And then
yeah.
And then she, yeah.
You know, he played her like a widow. You know what I'm saying? He was never hurt. He never he was that he suckered her in. Because he just proved
I always
yeah.
wanted to yeah. I always wanted to know what kind of switchblade she had that when she moved them they went I was like, man.
Let me tell you something. If I'm gonna be like the blades, you know what I'm saying? Like have like the blades knives, I'm not gonna have no freaking 3-inch little switchblade or something like that. I'm coming at you with a freaking hatchet, you know what I'm saying? You know?
With a
machete or something, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming at you with a battle axe, motherfucker, you know? What? But no, this little sword thing, come on, dude. She was lame. She had no idea what she was doing. He played her off. Sorry.
Okay, Deb, your favorite kill.
I don't remember his name. The puppet guy.
That's my second. That's my second when I think about this movie. You
That's
Cowboy?
the same one. That puppet one, that kid right there, because he took him out for a purpose, good reason, because he had wised up to the whole situation. That's why Freddy took him out next, because he was starting to put two and two together, you know, and that was so cold blooded how they did it, you know, because he walked them through the wall, you know. How do you explain?
And everybody saw
how do you
him.
explain that this kid was able to walk through a locked room area and was able to get up there into that area and be able to jump down like that. And they played it off like it was nothing. They did not want to accept any of that stuff. And then with the whole tendons in it,
They just blame Nancy. They're like, it's your fault. And it's like, how was it her fault? I didn't even think about that. That area that he was at, that's where it was closed off. That's where the doctor went with the sister.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Yeah.
And
with Maria Elena.
That's where it was, and it was locked. That was closed down. So, if you would think like that place was closed down, how did he get up there? Wouldn't you like want to investigate? How did this kid get up here?
No, that's what he did.
And so fast.
Yeah. And through a locked door. There was a padlock on the door.
Yeah.
I saw that. That looked so intense.
I didn't even think about that. That's when we go to the section where the haunted sister, the haunted nun, talks about Freddy's mom, Amanda Kruger, being assaulted by 100 maniacs and Freddy being the bastard child of 100 maniacs. Which, ironically enough, later on in life, Robert Englund is in a movie called 1000 Maniacs.
Yes, I want to do that one.
And then he's in 1001 Maniacs. Which is part 2.
Part 2.
No, I've never heard.
Have you seen
I've
that
never
one?
heard of these movies.
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We need to pot those.
Definitely.
All right. I'm down with it.
Cool.
So
yeah, both froze, and I was like,
"No, we good. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, man. This is going good. I'm excited about today still."
So yeah, that one was my favorite one. It just looked so painful, and he was up on the top, just moving his arms or the tendons.
Yeah, it looked very painful. I didn't.
So
like it
I noticed out of the three of us, nobody brought up the
"Welcome to prime time, bitch."
Oh,
that one.
That was my number 2.
That was pretty good, Josh.
Thank you.
Because again, after she got the way she died like that, you can't explain to me how she was able to get her head into that TV. And that TV
into the TV, feet hanging 3 feet, and then here comes. You know who the real villain of this movie is?
The doctor, that chick doctor,
the lady doctor, the older lady doctor. Let me go over here and find her name. Priscilla Pointer as Dr. Elizabeth Sims. That was, oh, you've got them wild up over here. Now we're gonna have to fire you. Yeah, she got up 3 feet up in the air, stuck her head in the TV,
without a little, without a chair.
How much
or-
velocity do you
And-
need to do
and
that?
then-
How much velocity needs to go
Yeah.
through that?
Not only that, but old Larry Fishburne is over here after getting his arm cut. He's over here just like, yep, she got her head stuck on the TV, just all calm and everything like that.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
She did it to herself.
Right. It was a
And then you have mental patients, right? That their friend just recently allegedly unalived herself in a TV. So where do they put them? In that same
In the
break
same
room
room.
with the burn marks on the wall for the TV.
Why hadn't you had that painted over yet? You know, why would you leave that like that? You know? Be like, what?
So they can so they can remember what happened, so they wouldn't put their head in the
dude.
TV.
She's all like, they have this sexual repression, and I don't know what's making them go crazy. Here, go in the where your friend just died.
Let me tell you, it would have been dope if they would have
Yeah.
had like if they would have turned around and she would have been Kruger or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She was possessed.
So I don't remember watching it when it first came out. I remember like later on watching this movie, but I could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong. Well, I am wrong because it didn't happen, but I could have sworn that the female doctor, that there was a part where she was
Where she-
Freddy Krueger.
Not that I remember. Maybe in another movie you're thinking of another doctor being Freddy, but
Maybe, but I was like waiting for that part, and I was like, that never happened.
Yeah.
nah, she was worse than Freddy because she
But
was
she was real.
She's the one that she
She's
was real. She got
incompetent.
everybody messed
Giving
up.
them all sedatives like that. They just need to get some sleep. You know?
And it's like the sleep is what's scaring them. The sleep is what's causing all this, and you're trying to sedate them to put them to sleep so they don't
It
wake
does
up.
kind of make sense that
Like-
they, I mean, when he asked about the drug that would help them to suppress their dreams, that would, and they could still sleep. It seemed like that would be something that you probably might want to let them do.
Try.
Yeah,
Try.
just so that they'll be more comfortable with
But-
it until you work and figure it out.
Here's another thing, and this is why I only play a doctor on a podcast, and I don't play a doctor in real life. Same thing you do with dogs and your own personal children when they don't want to eat. All right, don't eat. Don't eat. After a while, I bet you what, they're gonna eat. After a while. So put somebody in a room. They don't want to go to sleep. That's fine. Stay awake.
That's
Stay
what
awake.
Freddy does.
You're in this safety jacket, this hug jacket where you hug yourself so you can't hurt yourself because you're hugging
They
yourself.
start getting tired.
And you're in this nice room that's padded and all that, and the lights are just getting a little dim. You've already been awake for 4 days. You're starting to hallucinate and all that. Guess what? You don't want to go to sleep? You're gonna go sleep.
That's what
Yep.
she did to that chick. To what's her name?
Well, she drugged her
Yeah,
up. Though.
and threw her in a padded room.
Did she have the hug jacket?
It doesn't
I don't
matter.
remember.
Didn't
No.
matter. Didn't matter if she had it or not.
She didn't have the
Yeah,
jacket,
But that's pretty cold blooded to do that to somebody just have like that.
but she
That's
was,
inhumane.
but she wasn't able to take them out of the dream because they sedated her, so she wasn't able to take them out. I think if they wouldn't have been able, if they hadn't sedated her, she would have been able to bring them out before the other two died.
Yeah, but they were lame anyway,
So-
so somebody had to go.
I don't know the age group. I don't know the age group or the demographic of our listeners other than our pod people,
Right.
right? And recently in situations outside of the pod, I've been around younger type people and I've been making movie references and stuff like that. And even movies that I consider somewhat relatively new that should still be seen within the last like 15 years or so, and people ain't seen them. These are pop culture movies that I've referenced, and they're like, nope. And I have to explain it to them, and they're like, oh, that would be funny, stuff like that. So I don't know, watching this movie, I mean, do we have to explain to people on this is the first movie where Freddy's victims have powers? They realize that they're in dreams and they can do stuff in dreams. So they're, instead of just being victims, they fight
Yes.
back. That's why Kincaid is strong. Kristen got her flippity doodads. Taryn is beautiful. Apparently beautiful and
Yeah.
dumb.
Hand in hand.
And then the guy that can't talk has like Banshee from the X-Men powers.
Yeah.
And then the guy that's in the wheelchair,
He can walk.
he can
and
walk.
He's a wizard.
He's the wizard.
Classic video editing issue. You know, why was his socks always dirty? When he was in that wheelchair.
Because he
Whenever they got up and moved him, his socks was all dirty.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you a real life story. Real life story is not a scary story. All right. So my buddy Angelo has been in a wheelchair since he was 8 years old.
Okay.
Right? Paralyzed from yay down, right? Motorcycle accident. And he was riding on. Anyways, long story. But so Deborah and I used to have a public access TV show that also had a group of people that we all hung out together, and a whole bunch of people. We're connected to people, right? And so we're having this picnic, and some of these people that we're bringing in, they're like, "Hey, that's Angelo. I went to school with Angelo." And it was our friend. We'll call him Mike. We won't use his real name, all right? And so it's like, "Oh, Mike, you went to school with Angelo?" And Angelo's like, "Yeah, I went to school with Mike. We were good friends." So he's always known Angelo is Angelo's real name, by the way.
But he knows it's a Mike.
So Mike is over here with Angelo, and he's always known Angelo in a wheelchair, right? So they're there, they're talking. Angelo has this badass. His family is a biker family, right? So Angelo's got these badass biker boots on with flames on them and all that, even though he's in a wheelchair. And he's sitting there, and Mike says, "Can I try your boots on? What size are they?" He's like, "Oh, they're 9.5s." He's like, "Oh, can I try them on?" He's like, "Sure." So Angelo pulls his leg up, takes his boots off, gives them to Mike. Mike puts them on, and he's like, "Man, these are badass." And he tells Angelo, he goes, "How long have you had them?" And Angelo's like, "Oh, like 3 or 4 years." Mike looks at his feet, and he's like, "They're brand new." I smacked Mike on the back of the head. I said, "He's in a fucking wheelchair." He's like, "Yeah?" Oh. This is not a joke and not trying to be funny. This is a true.
This is a true story.
The
Exactly.
exception,
And that was just the opposite.
with the exception of me saying Mike, his name. I won't say his real name, but yeah.
Yeah, that's just the
Yeah.
opposite with mine. In this movie, his socks were dirty.
Well,
Oh, man.
because in his dreams he could walk.
But no, he was dirty. They were dirty. They
And
were
so he was
dirty when
getting
he
his
was
socks
not
dirty.
dirty.
But that's you could bring the claw like in part 1 into the real
Yeah.
world. She brought the fedora, she brought the hat over, so he was bringing his dirty
This
ass
is the
socks
scene.
over.
When I first noticed it was when the scene when Lawrence Fishburne picked him up and put him in bed. His socks were all black.
I'm gonna
He already had
No, he
dreams
was a
by
razor
then.
blade.
I'm gonna have to go back.
Trust me.
No, you know
I
what,
know, but I'm
you know
saying
what was happening,
Yeah.
right?
He's walking around on set, and then
No. Kincaid and the guy that didn't talk. What was the guy's name
Danny
that didn't
O.
talk? They were his best friends.
Joey. Oh, but remember when Joey picked him up
The
real
drug
quick?
Yeah,
Maybe they like
No, that's what I was gonna say. Kincaid and Joey were like wheeling him around the asylum, and he's like, "Stop!" And his feet were all just dragging. They didn't even know they were breaking his ankles and all that. He didn't have his feet in the little stirrup things. They were just there.
Oh my god.
They're dragging his feet, breaking his toes, because he couldn't feel his toes. They didn't know the damage that they were doing, and just getting his socks dirty and shit.
It's
that's a possibility. Because remember how he picked him up and
Just
put him in, picked him up and threw him in the chair so he could
Yeeted
see
him in
the
chair.
what's his name?
Man, it's just messed up. I thought he was the weakest wizard ever.
You, sir,
Yes,
are the
you're
weakest
the weakest
link.
wizard ever. How do you get crippled
He
again in
busts
your
out
own
the
dream?
Doctor Strange cloak.
Did he get crippled again in the dream? I mean, what the hell is this, man?
He got his legs got cut up by the wheelchair while he had his magic powers, but then he got back up, and then as soon as
He was
got back
floating.
up, he got back up. He slime magicked him, didn't even Hadouken him or anything like that. But he should have been burning him, just like
Yeah, he should have been doing something. It wouldn't have had any. It depends, because you got to realize for the first ones that he did kill, that was what made him stronger. You know, so he got stronger and stronger each time he killed them. So once he killed off those two, you know, that made him even more powerful. You know, towards the end.
I'm gonna have to go back. Yes, that's when he tears open his chest and you see that their faces, their souls tearing out through his
That
Yeah.
was
I'm gonna have to go back, and because now that I think about my favorite kills of all time, I don't remember which Nightmare on Elm Street it was where they had the comic book guy, the video game guy. I think it's part 4, maybe,
I can't remember.
where they kill him in the comic book world or the video game world, and then then the motorcycle kill where he turns into the Freddy motorcycle.
Dude, there's been so many Krueger kills that I have to go back and watch it.
I
I'm
know.
sorry, bro. Maybe it is.
To this
Somebody
day,
help us
though,
out. Let us know.
Do you have I'll ask both of y'all, and I'm pretty sure Deborah has the same one as me, so it's gonna kill my whole thing there. But do you have out of all the Freddy's, since we're doing the hashtag horror icons here in Podtober, hashtag Podtober, hashtag Cash of the Pod, Cash of the Pod. You see where my brain's going?
Cash up.
Cash of the Pod. That-
What's your favorite Freddy moment? I have 2. Now, it doesn't
What's
have
my
to be,
favorite?
doesn't have to be favorite, but when you think of Freddy Krueger, is it something that makes you go, ugh? Or is it like something you think of when you think of Freddy Krueger?
Well, when I think of Freddy Krueger, I think of all of them, all the stuff in the first one. Like I can tell you everything about the first one, but after that, I don't remember.
They're all
So like
"Hey,
my
it's
main
Freddy."
one from Freddy would be when he sticks his tongue out of the phone. Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it
Yeah.
Nancy?
Yep,
On-
that's my one.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough. He was reaching out to touch her.
And then another one is when he's walking in the alley and his arms grow, and he's hitting the wall and it's making the noise. But it's all from the first one. Like that movie scared me. I don't really remember much
That
of the
they cut
second
the fingers
one.
Oh
off.
man. Oh,
Yeah.
No, when he had her mother in bed and he was killing her and stuff like that and he was on fire. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'm with you, Deb. I'm with you 100%.
When she's walking up the stairs and she's walking in the marshmallow
Yeah.
goo.
Yeah.
Shoes,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a lot of
Mine was in the Dream
Dream
Child. My secondary one, yeah. He's like, it's a boy. Just. I always think of that line. I don't know why. I didn't even have to use a voice box for that one.
It just came out good.
But yeah, the first one was the one that scared me the
Yeah.
most. And I didn't want to sleep.
I think like the second one that you
I
just
didn't
kind of
see the first one
skipped
first.
the second one really, because the second one with the whole thing with the
Yeah.
possession thing just kind of they didn't want to go, like I said, they didn't want to go back to that. They just dutched that whole concept like that and just went back to him invading the dreams like that.
It wasn't until high school that I saw part 1. I saw part 3, I saw part 2, I saw part 4, and then I saw part 1.
Yeah, I saw that junk in junior high.
And which one's the one? Did any of them scare you?
Oh,
Or which one's the one you like the most?
you got to realize something like this. I saw all 3 of them in 1 month span on cable. Okay, I never, I was like, whoa, I was just hit with it, bam, bam, bam. I was like, oh shit. Like, there's another one. I was like, I wasn't ready.
How many Freddy's are there?
Counting remakes or no?
No, just originals.
I think it's like 6 or 7, something like that. I'll
Well,
check it out.
hey,
Let's get it
hold
real.
on. I'll be right back. Here, look, y'all want to do what y'all did on part 1? That I got the power bullshit and all that. Here it is.
There
No.
he goes again,
No.
Deb. He's always.
No. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying y'all got the power. I'll be right back.
Oh, look. Go ahead, Josh. Hurry up.
Go.
Man.
Go.
As we were saying, Deb. Where is he coming back now? So, yeah. See, that's all.
Yeah. I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
You're lucky I was
Thank
wearing
God
pants
for
today.
that. The moon is out.
So just right here. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh wow. Well, here we go.
So this is 1, 2. Okay, 5, 6, 7. And this is like extras, the Nightmare Series Encyclopedia. So there's 7 just right here. That's up to New Nightmares.
See, and I don't ask me like
That's not
about
even
any of the other
Freddy versus
ones.
Jason.
That's a good
Like
what you saying?
I said, don't ask me about any of the other ones because I can't tell you like any of this of the stuff. I have to like go back and watch them. Like the first one is the one that always stays in my head.
Wow.
The bus is coming.
This is one thing.
1, 2, the bus is coming.
Ain't nobody getting on
for
that
you.
bus. Here's something. Would you guys think that Krueger might be one of the most marketable of the horror icons?
Yes.
The top 2, without a doubt, and this gives away part of my Mount Rushmore, is Jason and Freddy. That's why they did Freddy versus Jason, because I mean,
Because it's money.
yeah,
Yeah, it's big time.
yeah.
Well, they even did the Freddy series too.
Yeah, they did. He had like a little TV show. Yeah.
A TV series. Back in the day, it was KABB when KABB first started here in San Antonio. Back when we were in like junior high and high school and shit like that, and they had the Freddy's Dead or Freddy's Nightmares.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, Freddy's Nightmares.
I used to watch those.
And that,
Yeah, those were
yeah,
dope.
me too. Now I remember those.
What
I
happened?
mean, I can't.
I'm about to pull that back out. Look that up.
Sorry,
Look that up. What is it?
those are hard to find. You can't find those on disc. You have to find ways.
That's how I was gonna
finding
look.
those.
That's how I was gonna
So-
look.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly how I was gonna look. That's back in the day, man. That's some old
Oh,
school
okay.
stuff for you, man. I mean, the whole thing with Krueger and
Yeah.
his doggone nails. I mean, let's be honest with you. I mean, out of all of these people, you know, these horror icons, Krueger, he really is a pretty sick one. You know what I'm saying? Because how we look at society of what he was known for, why they burned him. You know, that's some hardcore shit. You know, you had Jason that was just killing people, but you know, Krueger, there was a valid reason why they burned that son of a bitch. I'm sorry, that's that asshole. Okay, we ain't gonna say nothing bad about his mama. It wasn't her
Yeah, it
fault.
wasn't
They
her
locked
fault.
in there. How long they have? Yeah, how
Amanda
long did they have
Kruger
her
was
up
the
there?
saint. Well, they said in this one that she was locked out over a holiday, like a weekend.
But
But then she said that they had her hidden for
Right,
days.
and she came back pregnant. When they found her,
So
she was with child.
maybe like a week. And died. Yeah, that means
Yeah.
she got knocked. She was assaulted
Yeah.
over 100 times.
Yeah.
But so there is a theory out there that Freddy Krueger was not the killer.
I've heard that too.
That
he was not the killer.
no, that Heather, that Nancy, that her mom was the killer. That's why she had Freddy's glove hiding in their house, because she was the one that was actually killing people with gloves, with the blades, and that she just blamed it on Freddy. And everybody fell for it, and they went and killed him, thinking that they were doing good, but she was the real killer. And that's why he came back, because he was coming back. He was like a spirit of vengeance. But then as he got power and he tried to get revenge, that's why he went after their kids. He started liking it.
I can see that like that as a storyline like that, more or less, because it really was. Because it makes sense. Because I always thought I was like, why would she have that in her house? Why would she have that? It made no sense at all to me that she would have his claws in her house and saved up like that. That's not something that you want to have as a relic in your home.
Well, I mean, if people cut the heads off of lions and have them on the walls, and
But they
deers and
burned
shit
them.
like
So how
that.
did she get them before they were
You need-
burnt? Right.
All I know
right?
is I completely disagree with that theory. I disagree with that theory, and
Why?
I can't stand it. You know why?
Why?
Poor ass victim, villain bullshit drama
Right.
backstory. Oh, the poor villain.
No,
fuck that.
No, nothing was right with Kruger. Nothing was right with that dude.
The villain didn't go to therapy. We need to feel
No,
bad for
He
him.
was just a sick asshole. Seriously was.
The bastard child of 100 maniacs.
But I like that they haven't done the poor me on Freddy Krueger.
Dude, exactly. Well, I mean, if you go into New Nightmares and you find out that Freddy was possessed by a demon, that it was a Satan spawn that actually created. That's why he has the bone claw in part 7 and all that. His face is completely different or whatever. But I will tell you what, and he's probably too old to do it now, Robert Englund. But if they would have did it like 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, it would have been straight up money. Instead of doing that, I like, what's his name? Jackie Earl Henry, the guy that did Watchmen,
Yeah.
the guy that did RoboCop. Jackie Earl, the guy from Bad News Bears. The
Okay.
other Freddy.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that remake, they should have did the Springfield Slasher, where it was Freddy Krueger, the prequel. Because I'll tell you right now, the grossest, most disgusting, most send shivers down my spine horror movie moment is when they showed Freddy Krueger in Jason versus Freddy. When they showed alive Frederick J. Krueger. I don't know if his middle name's J or not. But when they showed him as a custodian in his little boiler room and all that, and he had the picture of that little
Yeah,
girl that he had
yeah.
just cut out, right? And he licked the back of that picture, and he was like getting off to licking that picture as he put it in his kill book. That was
Yeah.
that was the worst fucking thing that they ever showed Freddy do.
They brought it home.
Because
They brought it home.
that movie
to what
would
he
have,
really is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what. Yeah.
and they wouldn't have had to show the horrible things that he did to those kids or anything like that. They could have just teased it and stuff like that. And then the movie ends with the parents burning him, and then you see the claw on the
Right. Because that's
whatever.
that's the whole
And
thing.
shit.
They did that so many ways different and wrong. Like his mom having the claw. Okay, and then they're not burying the body the correct way, but just throwing it and disposing of it like that. That made no in a Cadillac of a
In a
trunk.
Cadillac.
Right there, bury it. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah.
Right underneath
And
the
let me tell you
Cadillac.
something.
Why you gotta-
Okay, this
Yeah.
is one thing about this movie I always hated: the skeleton Freddy. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was
I
gonna
thought
say
it was straight out
too.
of Clash of
That-
Clash of the Titans. I mean, come on, man. We were smart. We was yeah.
Or
Hey.
Army of Darkness.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it in Army of Darkness or Clash of the Titans. But in Freddy Krueger, it looked just the burnt man, the little burnt girl.
When she hit her head up, when she was
little
running with him,
burnt girl.
and she ran the hit
In
into
the
the head
wall?
into the wall.
And I was like, ah! And she's like, put me
She ran
down,
her
you're
head into
hurting
the
me.
wall.
She probably did that on accident in real life with the doll that she was carrying, and they saw every cut of it, and that was like the best cut. And they're like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do? Just do some ADR, do some voice
that
work
was
afterwards."
hilarious.
And then it was probably Robert Englund going, "Ah, you hurt me."
That's when it got funny. When he did that, we pulled that one out. You kind of knew where we were going with this thing. That you're gonna have some funny shit in this motherfucker. Man, it was a good one, man. I think that to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought that as a kid, I was a dream warrior because I was able to always think like that, and I always was able to control I didn't have nightmares when I was a kid at some point because I was able to concentrate and manipulate that type of stuff. So this movie hit hard for me.
It's called lucid dreaming. It's something that I've been able to do for years. I've talked to Deborah about it. I've talked about my reoccurring nightmare that I had as a child, and
Yeah.
I told you about that, right? Yeah, we've had it on the pod somewhere. I gotta write down the when I say all this shit, so I don't
That's
say
all
it
good.
over
It's
and
all
over.
good. We still got a scary story from Deb.
Yes. So are we gonna do the calculator of doom, or are we gonna do Deb's scary story?
We can do the
We
Doom.
could do the Doom.
Yep.
We're gonna bring out the doom.
Yeah. So are we doing the two different ones, or are we just doing one?
Nostalgic and current.
Yeah.
Let's do both.
Okay.
All right. So there you go. Calculator of doom time. Who's going first?
I got it.
Anybody? All right, Cobweb. When you saw this back in the day, you gave this movie an 8. Deb?
Back in the day, I think I would have gave it a 6.
What? All
Yeah.
right. I gave this movie a 10 back in the day. This movie meant a lot to me. So our nostalgic rating averages out to 8. It's not bad. Not bad. So as we watched it again recently this week, Cobweb, what did you give it? A 9. Deb?
I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. I liked it a lot better than what I remember.
I can't give it a 10 because of something I saw today as I was rewatching it at lunch.
I know what it is.
And it is lame that I'm taking off a whole point for this, but Cobweb's all like, you need to see everything in 4K and blah 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 blah. I saw this on my phone streaming, and I was like, if I can see this on my phone streaming, just using cellular plans, not even using Wi-Fi, then when he's holding Wizard Boy up, right, you can see the cables holding
Wait a
Wizard
second.
Boy.
Wait a second. Let me give you a point back. Remember, if you probably didn't see this because you saw it on your phone, but this. Oh.
No, I saw the movie on TV, but I was
Okay.
rewatching again
Let's
for
see when
extra
he was
points today.
Hovering the kid with the puppet up there. When he cut the rings, the strings, his tendons. Could you see the red lines? Yes.
No.
Yes, you can see the
I'm gonna
red
go
lines
back.
from him, from his tendons being cut as he's falling to the ground. It was kind of like they penciled it in, like animated it in. Yeah.
Huh. I'll
there's
check
your
it out.
half
I'll
point
check
back.
it out. So I give it. Nope. Because I didn't see it
Okay.
as it happened. So I give it a 9. That means all of us together rated a 9, which it actually went up a point from nostalgic to current, even though it lost a point for me.
I think it's the
8
fact
and a
that
9.
because of the
Pretty
franchise
good.
brings it so much depth and strength to it, and you understand the more concept
Oh,
of
yeah.
what Kruger's about more now than you did when you saw it then, and what he was capable of doing. It makes you really sit back and say, like, man, horror icon. That's a slam dunk. Kruger.
Yes.
And even though there were a couple parts in the movie that I didn't like the skeleton part, and then the Wizard Boy part, I didn't really like that. But like the whole movie, the whole concept, the whole story about Freddy and his mom and what happened to his mom, and this one was just more like I didn't remember any of this from watching it from before. That it was deep to me, and I was like, whoa, like I don't remember that. So I liked it. That's why I made my points go higher.
There's one more thing about
There
this.
you go.
Out of all the ones that they had, this was the one that was more believable of an ending of why they could kill Freddy Krueger than any of the other ones. It was always some other loophole, but this one right here about them burying the body on hollow ground, because it didn't happen, was probably one of the stronger things I thought that they did.
It was supposed to be
It
the
made
ending
sense,
for the
too.
series.
It really did. It really did make sense.
And
You
it
know
would have
what
been a great ending too.
You know what
What's
I
up?
just thought of right now? My other favorite Freddy scene.
Which is what?
Which
And I remember it one way, and it's just maybe because I like hearing Freddy say bitch so much. But I don't know if he says bitch in it or not. But when he cuts Kelly Rowland's nose off.
That was wrong. That was wrong.
When the
The fingers come up. Oh,
fingers come onto her nose, it's like
got your nose,
I
bitch.
forgot about that.
I don't know if he says
Oh.
bitch or not, but it definitely says
Save it, save it, save it. That's the
Gotcha.
Patreon exclusive.
You know.
That's the Patreon exclusive. Yeah, they got a taste. They don't get any more. That's the Patreon exclusive.
or when he tells Joey feeling tongue tied.
oh yeah, wah,
Oh.
wah.
Yeah.
That was classic
The
Freddy right
cornball
there.
lines.
Yeah. Freddy's he's I know you said to save it, but he's my favorite. I think he's my
All right. There we go.
Wow.
Krueger. We keep it going. Okay. Deb, so I can't do it anymore. Deb, give me the story.
Okay. So I'm at work. This happened at work.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. I'm at a place. Okay. So like all day, I'd been needing to go to the restroom.
She had to take a shit.
I had to go. So every
Stop
time I would
interrupting
go,
that, guys. Come on, Deb, go.
every time I would go, like there would be somebody in there, and I was like, oh, so I'd have to walk to the other restroom, which is further from where I was at. So at the end of the day, I'm like waiting for Josh to pick me up, and I'm like, oh, I really need to go. So I went to the restroom, and the door was locked, and I was like, there's nobody here. There's only a couple people here, so why is and I was thinking, okay, well maybe somebody locked the door this whole time and I didn't even know. So I go to ask one of my
heart
co
attack and been dead.
yeah, and I didn't even know.
You're supposed to knock on the door, and then
It's in
find
there.
out
Hey,
people.
you there? Okay, sorry.
You okay? You need me
Right.
to call somebody? Not just wait till the end of the day when you gotta take a shit.
Well, I'm a very busy. I didn't have time. So
other people's health is none of
He's
my
over here prairie
concern.
dogging it.
so I go and ask one of my coworkers, I'm like, do you have a key to the restroom or something? No, I told her, so I think the door is locked. Like the door's been locked all this time because every time I go, like the door's locked, right? She's like, here, take my key. I have a key. Go see if if it works for that door. I don't know if it does. So I go, okay. So I go to the door. I'm knocking on the door and nothing. Knock on the door again, nothing, but the door is locked. And I'm just like trying to open the door. So I go to put the key in the door and you hear the door unlock. Like you hear the button, like click. But I hadn't put the key in the door yet. Like I was about to put it and I hadn't touched the doorknob and you hear the door and then the door
It's
just
open
opens
by
by itself without me touching it. It opened by itself. And
Oh
the
shit.
funny thing is the door opens towards you, not in. So like in order to open the door I had to like pull the knob and then pull it,
Whoa.
not push it. Like I could understand the door opening by itself going in, but the door opened and I was like,
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
I heard the door unlock, I heard the door open, so I
It's
look
time to
in,
go.
there's
You
nobody
looked
in
in?
there. So I just closed the door.
Why would you look in?
Yeah.
So why would
Well,
you look
the door
in?
was open. I didn't like go into the restroom. I didn't go into the restroom,
I'm
but
stopping.
I like
I'm
looked because the
telling
door
Josh, we
was
stopping
open
at
and I
McDonald's, okay?
And when Deborah told me this story, she told me, "I'm sorry, but this is some WPS." She said, "I looked into." I was like, "No, did you go into the bathroom?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Okay, well, then it's not WPS, because if it was WPS, you would have walked in and been like, what is that sound? Why? Let me
Right.
investigate on what's going on here."
So I closed the door and took off running.
Yelling. What was you yelling?
So
To my coworker to give her key back.
Wow.
And I told her, I'm not lying. Please believe me.
You don't think they were pranking you?
So I have to.
No.
They couldn't have. Let me tell you what kind of doors they are. First, I want to show off my bad
that's
motherfucking
tight.
mug. Badass motherfucker mug. Got this like what 10 years ago, Deborah?
Yeah.
Is a gift from Cora and Christina. Anyways, so their door handles are those hook ones, right? Where you grab it like this and turn it like that, and the lock would be like right here, right? So you had to grab it or whatever. So when she put the key in the front, when she went to go to put the key in the front, that means on the other side you would have had to turn it, and then the thing.
Yeah, I know exactly what kind
you
you're
can hear
talking
those type.
Oh wow.
Yeah, those hook doors. So,
Yeah, so I heard it pop. Like I heard the lock pop, like it, and then that's when the door opened. And I was like,
I'm not saying nothing.
The door just
I'm not saying
opened.
nothing. You know, it is Podtober. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. You know, somebody give us another scary story out there. We got to get another one going. You know, I want to hear spooky stories all month long from Podsters. I mean, I want to hear some scary shit. Yeah, I do.
I like
I want to hear some scary shit. I mean, I'm tired of all these people saying, yeah, I want some scary stuff from Cast of the Pod. You know, you guys, whatever. No, I want to hear somebody that's out there that's been through some shit, that saw some motherfucker come up on their ass and be like, boo. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
I'm gonna say this. If you want to join our Patreon at patreon.com/castthepod, and then you want to tell us, I want some scary shit or whatever, talk all the shit that you want. Because if you're paying us, I'm all good. I'm good with it.
and we'll tell you some scary stories. This is nothing compared to what we have.
No, we're classic.
We've got some scary stories percolating. If you want something really scary, I'll show you how much we owe after Deborah's cancer treatment from 10 years ago.
That's scary.
That shit's
Just look
scary.
at that. Whoa, how long is that bill gonna be there? It ain't going nowhere. Are you gonna make a payment on this? Yeah, right.
A long life.
Yeah, sure.
$1.7 million. Here's $5 this month.
And every month after that.
Yep.
I'm doing my part. Here you go.
Yeah. It might just take a little bit longer, but hey, you know, you ain't gonna break me. You ain't gonna break me. These corporations think they gonna break everybody down to the very last compound. You know, but you know, I'm tired of it. You know, we are run by a corporate society, you know. Corporations run this thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stop. Right.
The thoughts and views of Cobweb do not necessarily represent the thoughts and views of Cast of the Pod or any of its subsidiaries or blah.
Sorry about
blah,
that,
blah,
ladies
blah.
and gentlemen. Sorry.
Wink.
I promise I was gonna do better. I promise I was gonna do better.
I like that
didn't.
wink at the end. The wink. Wink.
Motherfucker over there tripping. I mean,
You can't help us. We can't. Hey, it's good.
I
Hey,
can't
so we're gonna
wink.
tell them what's next week. What's next week? What are we gonna give them with?
we're gonna go into a Jason movie already. Are we gonna go into Ghostface? Or are we going into Chucky? Oops, those are
Those are our 4.
hashtag horror
Yep.
icons for the
That's
month.
what you're getting, man. You don't know which one we're gonna get you with, but we're gonna hit you with something. So what are we gonna do? What? Let's what do you think, Deb? Jason
Jason.
it is.
All right, we won't tell you which Jason movie, which Friday the 13th movie, or Jason movie, or whatever you want to call it. It is until we post the
We're gonna hit you
information
with
coming
that
up.
boom boom bap. So tune in next week.
You know what we need to do? We need to do a Patreon exclusive of Blade. All 3 Blades, and then we break it down and give our Blade theories and Blade.
Let's
Blade's a
go
horror
for
movie?
it.
Counts as a horror movie?
I'm down.
Yeah, it does.
Patreon only.
Blade has one of my best favorite opening scenes,
The club.
besides Ghost Ship.
You know what the greatest thing about it is? Cobweb through that Britney Spears Dancing with Knives bullshit. And then I found that picture of her dressed all in black, bikini black with the trench coat and all that. And then somebody put her in front of the Blade logo and Marvel movies, whatever. And then I put that song. I never knew all these years that everybody knows it. The Bloodbath song. I thought it was Bloodbath. You know what it's called?
What?
Confusion. I was like, how great is this for a Britney picture?
What's wrong with Britney? What's wrong with Britney? She looks fine to me.
She's confused.
She cool.
She's confused.
No,
Are we going
because
into
we
that
already saw that
conversation
she looks
again?
fine. There's nothing wrong with her.
Just because somebody looks fine doesn't mean
She looks
that
pretty cool to me.
mentally they're
She look
stable.
alright. She
or
passed the
anything
eye
like that.
test.
We had to have sympathy.
I mean, she could pass the speaking spell. She all right. She good enough. I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure?
Freaking spell.
Are you
I
sure?
don't see why
Are
not.
you sure about
She
that?
seems very capable of handling herself and her day-to-day life experiences. I mean, it's going to be a learning curve because
Not
You
even
know,
her
that's not her
boyfriend
boy-
wanted to
that's
stay
not-
with her.
who cares?
That don't mean
When you
nothing.
suck somebody,
That don't
because he
mean
sucked
nothing.
enough out of her dry that he could before she said no, enough is enough. Who cares? Just freaking Britney Spears.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. It turned off
What turned off?
the
I
music.
just heard it.
You couldn't hear the music?
I could hear it like in
Oh,
the
man.
beginning and then it turned off.
Yes, I should be
Yeah.
Yeah,
wearing
y'all
mine.
been wearing your bus
The bus.
t-shirts today. Of course, I'm gonna wear my own merch.
I will be getting myself. I will be getting myself one of those Cast of the Pod pumpkin spice latte. While I will not be buying myself a pumpkin spice latte drink, I will be buying myself a
Ooh.
pumpkin spice latte shirt.
Let me know when you get ready to make that order.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good. All right, y'all, I think we're done. We gave it a combined 8 and 9, nostalgic and current. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
Pod people, let us know if the way we're handling the pods now is what you want to hear, because we're doing a bunch of bullshitting. But this is honestly, we don't get to talk all that much, so this is the way that we get to hang out and have fun. As long as you didn't hear the
That
part
shit was
1 to
fucking
this, because that was fun.
That was like the greatest.
That's not it.
Playing with my emotions.
We had free reign. We had
Yeah, right.
we had the power.
Oh, so what
No,
you're
we
saying
didn't
is
say
y'all want a
that.
pod
But
without
it was like
No,
I was
Right.
we just weren't stuck in
we
the
had
box.
mobility. We had space. We was able to move around.
I was like, oh no.
I like this space. This space is great. I like this a lot. Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, there. Y'all want space? There you go.
You know,
This is great right here. For those of y'all that are listening, this is definitely a YouTube moment. We don't make any money when y'all watch it off of YouTube. We do make some money when you listen to the ads on the download, especially if you go over to Spreaker and listen to it on Spreaker. But yeah, this is definitely a
I
YouTube
feel
moment.
so little.
This is I like this. This is I can stretch. You can see my arms. Look, there's my
Really?
tattoo. Yeah.
this is the level we're at right now.
Put his back.
Right.
I feel so little. I can't remember what movie it is. Like it feels like we're like little cups, and then Josh is all giant. See, we could be like this.
Yeah. Now this makes sense. There, you know what? I'm done. I'm done.
No, boo.
This one's much better.
Boo.
All right, y'all. So
Cobweb.
until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Deb.
This is the cast of the pod. And what, Deb?
And you have been warned.
All right.
You've
till
been watching Cast of the Pod, and you have been warned.
There you go. All right, y'all. Peace.
October.